Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for those of you who are going to jump in live, and then those of you who are going to catch the replay of our Meet the Author Class of 2017 What's Next. I am so excited. I am Dr. Sharon, educator, author, entrepreneur, and speaker, and I have three of the phenomenal contributing authors of Class of 2017. So I'm just going to introduce them, and then I'm going to allow them to share just a little more about them and where they graduated from Class of 2017. So first, I have Dr. Zipporah Miller. I have Takisha. Takisha, help me. Ubiera. I knew I was going to mess up. And then Dr. Pia Scott. And so I'm going to first ask Zipporah, then Takisha, and then Pia to introduce themselves. So Dr. Zipporah, take it away.
Hello, everyone. I am so excited as well. I am Dr. Zipporah Miller, and I am currently working with Anne Arundel County Public Schools, and I oversee professional development. Specifically right now, I'm working on a really exciting project on launching micro-credentials within our district. I'm really excited about that. And I'm also a co-author for one of the science programs with Pearson. It's a K-8 science program that should be launching any day now.
Awesome. Takisha.
Hello, everyone. I'm Takisha Ubiera. I'm currently a special education teacher in Prince George's County Public Schools. I've been doing special ed for 12 years now, and in 2017, I graduated from Loyola University with my reading specialist, master's in literacy, and a certification in reading.
Awesome. Dr. Pia Scott.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Pia Scott. I graduated from Drexel University, and I will be beginning a new career at Georgia State University January 3rd, working in the career professional development department. So I will oversee career counseling and employer development.
Awesome. I am so excited for this whole project because number one, when I successfully defended my dissertation in April, that was really the question that I kept getting. So what's next? Dr. Sharon? And of course, my mind got to going, you know what? We need to be able to tell people what's next. And so that's what this is all about. And so I appreciate you all for telling your story and just joining in with us because number one, my vision for this is not only to celebrate us that graduated 2017, but really to give hope to all of those future graduates out there because as we know, it can be a struggle. It is not easy. And so we just want to collectively say, if we can do it, you can certainly do it. So that's what this is all about. And so I'm just going to ask very briefly, so what made you, first of all, go to the school that you decided to go to? And I know that was something that we talked about in our chapter, but I think it's very important to hear. So why did you choose to decide to go to? And anyone can please just jump right in.
Okay, I'll go first, Sharon. I chose Loyola University because it was unique in having a reading specialist master's program and a certification. So it was a dual program that was only 2 years long, and it was also hosted at a satellite campus, which was not too far from my house. I didn't have to travel all the way to Baltimore to take my classes. I was able to take my classes at high school, which was very convenient. Also, some of the classes were online, and most of the classes were also face-to-face. So I appreciated the type of program that Loyola offered as a for working professionals.
Awesome.
I chose the University of Maryland College Park for several reasons. I knew that this journey was going to be a challenging journey, and I wanted to work with a cohort, and our school district had established a partnership with the University of Maryland, and so we went in as a cohort, and I felt that that would give me that support when I felt like I wanted to give up, that I had colleagues who were rallying behind me and saying, okay, we can do it, we can do it. But one of the main reasons is my learning style is I'm a personable person. I'm a face-to-face person. So I knew I needed a program which was majority face-to-face And also, when I was at points when I didn't understand something, even though working online is great, I work very well when I work with professors face to face. So being in College Park was easy for me to just commute, drive, meet with professors, look for resources within the campus. So for me, it was a matter of my learning style and also the fact that I had colleagues around me that we were working together towards this.
Yes, that cohort piece was very important for me too as well. So Dr. Scott.
What I would say, some of the similar things, as far as the cohort, also where I was living in Pennsylvania at the time. And so I was trying to find a program that would allow me to work and still pursue my education at the same time. A lot of the schools that I was looking at wanted you to, stop working for your first year, and I just wasn't able to do that. So with Drexel, I saw that they had a hybrid program, so I could get that face-to-face, because like Dr. Miller, I'm that individual that likes to have that face-to-face as well as working independently. So Drexel University, their EDD and leadership and management was essential to what I wanted to do. And also being that I worked in higher education, they had that that concentration. And so that's what attracted me to Drexel University.
That everyone touched on something, that working full-time, because all of us while going to school was working full-time, and actually probably the majority of anyone who is in graduate school is working full-time. So let's talk a little bit about that. And again, I know we all probably said something about that in our chapters, because that was undoubtedly a major feat for us, is handling everything, and especially with families, those of you who are in sororities, church functions, just so much going on. So let's talk a little bit about how you were able to really handle all of that and then graduate with your degree.
Well, I'm going to go first on this one. And it was a challenge. And I'm going to say, number one, my family was my rock. Because you knew, and everybody knows, that working full time is a lot in itself. But for my family to have been able to take over some of the tasks and to be able to not have me feel guilty when I missed football games, or when I was late to a track meet, or when my husband had to run and take care of things that I couldn't get to without complaining, that really made a big impact in terms of me being able to balance the whole the work and the program. If I had a recipe of how you balance the three, I would tell you, but I will say that the biggest thing was, when you are pursuing any educational program, your family is pursuing it with you.
That is so true. I can remember when I came home from my graduation, I put my stole and my hat on my dog. I was like, you got to agree to. And I really meant that. I was like, you are Dr. Coco, because she's all up all the night. She was right there with me the whole time. And so you're exactly right with that. So who else?
I will certainly agree. In that regard, is that your family, they're some of your biggest supporters, and sometimes you may have to miss, certain things that are very important because you have an assignment due, or, in my case, I had to move back home to South Carolina, so I had to fly every once a month to, meet with my cohort members. So there's a lot of sacrifice. And so if you have that support and you just have that passion and you know what you want to do, then, it's possible. And we all did it. So.
Absolutely. And I think, and maybe you, Takisha, I don't know if everyone else, but I know you have very small children, like school-age children.
Yes.
And so that probably puts a whole nother level of, oh my goodness, to your to your journey. So talk a little bit about that.
Okay, I always tell people I don't really know how I made it through. I mean, it was literally the grace of God that allowed me to get through this program. In addition to working full time, I also had a tutoring business that was pretty much full time as well. So it was a huge juggling act, but thanks to my family and my friends, you know, they were great support systems to help me with my children, my husband. You know, he's a officer who works night shifts, so it was literally a juggling act. But he adjusted his schedule to be able to support the children at home. My dad, my mom, all of them really were great support systems. And then going back to the piece about taking hybrid courses, that was essential because it allowed me to have 3 or 4 hours squared away where I knew there would be no interruptions. I believe if I took a online, you know, classes for the whole duration of my master's program, I think that would have been more challenging for me. But allowing myself time to work in class was very, very beneficial. So I would suggest that taking hybrid courses for, you know, working moms, I think that's really important.
Very good.
Do essential work.
It really is. And so for me, and I don't know if anyone else, but this was my actual second time trying to complete this doctoral degree. And so for me, it was really just about the journey, not necessarily the title of doctor, because I had, you know, like 6 years before that had gone through this, and really just life happened and I didn't finish. And so it was really discouraging at first, and almost to the point that I didn't go again because I had to start all over with this second degree. So, and just speaking of those things that really challenged you, that could have really taken you out of the game and said, you know what, I'm not going to do this, but something in you said, I can do it. Was there any one thing that, you know, really came upon you that almost made you say, I'm just going to stop?
Well, I'll speak to that real quick, and not to give too much away on my chapter, but I had a lot of, well, I did mention that I had to fly once a month. I had to return back home because both my mom and my brother got sick. So, you know, that was one of the things that I didn't expect. You know, like you said, life happens. And I could just remember talking to my mom, and there were some other things that were going on in my cohort because, of course, I was the only Black female in my cohort, so I really didn't have too much support there. But also when that happened with my family, it just really, you know, I wanted to give up. And having that conversation with my mom, she was like, no. She said, you're not going to give up. So that's ultimately kept me going, you know.
I had several areas that I was just like, this is it. But one of the major areas is called lit review. Lit review. I can't even say it any plainer. So the reading was not a problem. The actual interpreting what the research was saying was not a problem. But for the topic that I chose, research was coming up because it was on teacher evaluations at the time. The public was looking at it, so research kept coming out, and I was like, this is never ending. But that wasn't even the big issue. It was really how to synthesize that information that got tough for me. And I thought, hey, I'm a science person. We understand research, right? That lit review almost took me out. And that was a point where I was writing day in, day out. And when I thought I understood what I was doing, I would go back in and I still hadn't gotten it. When I thought I knew I understood what's going on, I would go back in and I still hadn't gotten it. And I can't imagine how many times I rewrote not just one section of the lit review, the entire lit review, before I finally said, this is it.
I definitely can relate with that one. Oh my goodness. It's
I concur.
When I did my the doctoral thing the first time, my topic stayed the same, but again, I started in 2006. So of course, when I started in 2013, I could not use any of that, right? Because it was old data, right? Old literature. And so I was like, oh my God, it's got to really start all over. So I definitely understand that. So Takisha, what about you? Did you have a moment that almost took you out?
I think just trying to get through that first class, after being out of school for, I think it was 10 years, and just getting back in the swing of writing and, using APA style, which had changed like 4 times.
Yes.
I thought I was pretty good at it in undergrad, but it definitely changed over the course of 10 years. So just getting used to being back in school was just a struggle within itself, having a family and again, a full-time job. Wow.
And after reading everyone's bio, I do believe that everyone actually have some other business. Like you do your tutoring, and I think you, Zipporah, and Pia, both of you do some consulting, right?
Yes.
Okay, so talk a little bit about your other businesses, because one thing that I believe in is multiple streams of income. And so, Zipporah, talk about it, Pia, and then Takisha, you can talk a little more about your tutoring business.
Okay, thanks.
So there's several things that I do. I do consulting, and I consult in science teacher professional development. But one of the other areas that I am just extremely passionate about is this Elevate Science program. It's a K-8 science textbook, but it's not, I don't call it a textbook, it's a program because it's all inclusive, and it is going to be going out nationally to public and private institutions to just help teachers with some kind of resource in order to teach science more effectively. I'm really excited about this program because it's totally aligned with the next generation science standards. It looks at problem-based learning. So this is a way in which to look at science and make it meaningful for students as opposed to just learning the content.
Awesome. I love it. Dr. Pia?
Well, my business, what I do is career development, professional development, branding, those types of things where if someone wants to transition, so I focus on military and transitioning military and students that are transitioning from high school to college and from college into a career or work. And so I do a lot of focus on just making sure that people understand that if they want to change fields, just because they don't necessarily have the experience doesn't mean that, they don't have the option or opportunity to, change fields. And I also do, I also teach career development facilitation. So anyone that's in career counseling or just has an interest in counseling individuals and careers, I offer that certification as well for someone to be certified as a career development facilitator.
Awesome. Takisha.
Okay, so I have a mobile tutoring business. Initially, I had an office, but I recently closed that in August. I offer tutoring services to children from kindergarten up till 8th grade. In addition, I also do some consultative work outside of my tutoring business. I'm a consultant for the Science School, which is a school for students with learning disabilities. So we have an outreach program in the inner city of Annapolis, and I go in and assess the students, give them tutors for the year, and then do post-assessments at the end of the year to measure their progress. So I love teaching reading. I love helping students in need. It's truly a passion for me. So.
That's awesome. I'm just so in awe of everyone. And Dr. Pia, you have a what's next that you weren't able to put in the book because it came after the writing. So
right.
Can you tell us about your new job?
Well, my new job, it's a program that's sponsored by State Farm. It's called the LIFT program. So what we do, we focus on underrepresented populations. So those students that, are coming for a 2-year degree, we kind of focus on the transition from high school into college, making sure that we have student retention, student success, and exposing them to careers that they might not, otherwise have exposure to, preparing them for interviews, connecting them with employers, developing relationships so that students will have access to internships and just those different opportunities. And I just love to work with that population of students because, that's where I see that gap being, and to be there to help these students connect and giving them professional development and just workshops, where they can just talk about, what they're going through, and connecting with other people that are like them. So that's in a nutshell what I will be doing in this new position. And I'm just very, very excited, just due to the fact that Georgia State is expanding and a lot of their programs are geared toward student retention. And I think that's very important.
Awesome. I love it. And so, guys, as we are nearing to the end of our interview session, please can you share where individuals who would like to purchase their book from you, share that. And then also, if you have a professional following on social media, please also give that information too. And we'll go Zipporah, Takisha, and then Dr. Pia.
Okay, so you can reach me by email at Zipporah Miller. So that's ZIPPORAH Miller, MILLER 98 at gmail.com. I am on Facebook, Zipporah Machayo Miller on Facebook. I'm also on Twitter, Zip Miller. You can get me on Twitter and also on LinkedIn. So you can contact me any one of the three ways and I will reach out to you. I'll be so excited to hear from you.
Awesome.
My email address is T as in Tom, LC Wealthy, WEALTHY @gmail.com. I'm also on Facebook, Takisha Robinson Ubiera. And I don't have a Twitter or Instagram yet, but I'm working on it.
Well, you can reach me at drpscott2016 @gmail.com. I don't have Twitter or Instagram, but I do have a LinkedIn as well, and it's Dr. Pia L. Scott, and that's where you can find me on those two platforms. And I'm working on a Facebook platform and a website as well, so those are forthcoming.
Okay, awesome. So the class of 2017, we are on Twitter, we are on Facebook, and we are on Instagram. Facebook is class of 2017, What's Next? And Instagram and Twitter, it's CO 2017, What's Next? So we do hope that you follow us. And although we are 4, total is 15 of us, and it's not just graduates. We have high school graduates from 2017, and we also have 2 undergraduates that are represented here. So we definitely want you to buy the book from any one of us that you would like to, and really just share it. If you know a graduate that's struggling to make it through, whether it's high school, whether it's college, buy the book and give it to them, because we really go through all of our struggles that we went through, but we overcame because we are the class of 2017, and we are so proud. So Dr. Miller, Takisha, Dr. Scott, I just want to say thank you so much. And before we go, is there one person through your whole entire doctoral journey outside of your family that you would like to say thank you to?
Absolutely. I would like to say thank you. I'm going to say 3. Peter, my husband, David, and Daniel, my sons. They were my rock throughout the process.
Awesome. Takisha.
My family too. In addition, my boss, Dr. Tarn Savoy, my former boss, Dr. Cheryl. Why am I blanking on Cheryl's last name? My best friends, everyone who supported me, my church family, thank you so much. And thank you, Dr. Sharon.
Absolutely. Dr. Scott.
I would say, of course, my friends, when I had to fly in, they let me stay with them. I would say Dr. Pittman, who's been a rock through this entire process, served on my committee. Dr. William Ed Bureau, Dr. Ahmad Washington, who really, really helped me with the foundations of my research and writing. You know, he was there every step whenever I had a question, or, you know, I appreciate him. Of course, my family, my friends, and just everyone that supported me through the entire process.
Absolutely. Absolutely. For me, I definitely also would like to send a thanks to my family as well. But a shout out to the whole Howard University School of Education ELPS staff, because they really were supportive, with special acknowledgement to the Dean, Dr. Don Williams, as well as my advisor, Dr. Lisa M. Grillo, who taught me more than she would ever know through this process. So we all say thank you. And guys, go out, buy the book. The Kindle version is available on Amazon right now for $1. We only have about a day left, and the book is set to be released next week. So those of you who have pre-ordered, you should get them within the next week or so. So we really appreciate you, but please contact one of these authors to buy the book from them. So guys, thank you so much. And all of those of you who've joined us, thank you as well. Thank you.